Guys, so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, with the QCRC Friday Night Madness coming up in a few weeks, what better time than to go through the Vanquish? I'm talking just redo the shocks, put my new wheels and tires on here, make sure everything is greased really well, and just go over the truck and make sure it's good. And then I was today years old when I realized this one very, very important thing I was missing. So we have our normal shock here, shocking, and we have this amount of travel, all good, all dandy, pretty good, working pretty well. Same with the front, we got a little bit of travel here, a little bit of travel. Traveling, we got some good suspension travel right here. Everything's working good, the shock is going, and, we're great. And then you take the shock loose and you realize what you've been missing your entire life. And then you start to debate your life and what you've been doing with your Vanquish and why you've only had about probably 80 millimeters of shock travel. Yeah, what a morning, what a morning. So, as you can see, I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but we're putting longer shocks on this ASAP because this right here, it worked and it did fine and it was great, but, this... yeah, this is where it's at. That would be phenomenal. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. Today is going to be on the Vanquish. If you couldn't tell by our little intro there of what we, the beautiful news we found this morning, we are going to have to go to our local hobby stop today and pick up some shocks for this. I'm thinking 120 millimeters, but we might do 110 millimeters. It all depends what they have in stock, guys, what they have in store. But yeah, my mind is blown. Drop a comment down below. What shocks did you guys put on your Phoenix? And let me know. Because I just had a life awakening experience here, and I need to go rethink some things. All right, we have the new King shocks mounted front and rear. These guys are 130 mil on the rear right here, and then they are 120 mil on the front. The reason we're switching it up, and there's two different sizes, is because those came off the donate truck up here, the OG Snow White F450. I'm going bigger and better shocks on that one. Just these don't hold up to the load of a gooseneck trailer. The bodies are a little too small. We need like a big bore shock, so that's why we donated these guys to the Vanquish. It's gonna be perfect. I left the screws a little loose because I'm gonna go test this fluid really quick. I think I have 80 weight in all of these guys, maybe 100 weight from the truck trying to tow stuff. So we'll see how this performs, and I'll probably drop some like 32 weight, 30 weight, maybe a little lower in here to see how this performs, and then we'll go from there. Next on the list for the Vanquish is changing out the wheels and tires. These stock wheels and tires are really small and nimble, but they're just not wide enough. They just don't give you enough traction and width to get over a lot of obstacles, especially with us, and the wheel got caught in some areas, and there's better out there. We need the better, and we're going to go ahead and put it on there. So I have some brand new wheels and tires, and I'm super excited to go ahead and put those guys together right now. So with all the wheels off the truck, we can finally expose these beautiful Vanquish axles, front and rear. These things are awesome, guys. But I want to dive into the stock wheels here and tires. So if you look at these guys, they look really good. I'm loving the sidewall on them. They're looking great. Wheels have a metal outside ring, plastic inside. It takes 6 screws to screw them on, and then you have to have Vanquish's little special adapter right here. Not bad, not bad. I've used these a ton on this truck. I've probably put 10 packs through these tires. But they leave stuff to be desired. They are quite skinny. They're same, what's the size? They're the same 4.65, 1.9s, but they're only 1.5 inches wide, and that's just very skinny compared to something like this. I really think this will do. I think this will do. Got our wheels on here. We got our bigger shocks on here, and this thing flexes. Look at that. We are touching both wheels on the ground right here, both wheels on the front. That is some flex right there, guys. That is superb. With these shock towers are set up, they're really not made for external reservoir shocks, but that's okay. We made that work anyway. These are off the Ascent of 250 if you guys have caught on to that. I had a set of wheels and tires I was going to put on here, but they ended up being way too small to fit over the Vanquish axles. The wheels were too small and didn't have enough offset. These 2.2 Super Swampers from RC Four-Wheel Drive came in clutch. Took them off the F250 and I was like, I don't really know if I'm feeling the vibe. And then once I got them on the truck, I was like, dude, I am feeling it. Here we have a 3D printed tire rack from QCRC Hobbies ourselves. This is a fully functional spare 3D printed wheel. The wheel has seen better days, but this is just to give you guys a figure. Take it on the trail, not worry about it. Fits flawlessly. It'll fit a 2.2 tire in here as well. Mount to one single screw in the center with a washer and you're good to go. Same thing for the roof. We have a beautiful roof rack here. It has functional holes around the whole sides to be able to use this guy. You can mount accessories on here with ratchet straps, bungee cords, whatever you may want. You can mount it on here. It fits perfectly to the top. We have our little snorkel right here mounted on the side. I think this just added some scale realism and depth to it. It's got a little bit of vent holes on the top just to add that scale realism. This guy will be printed in any color you guys prefer. All this stuff just helps bring this truck to life. Here we have the Traxxas winch in front of us. This is a cool winch with the free spool function. I have not had a chance to use this yet. We've had one installed on our Sin F450 for quite some time. I've just never really got around to using it, but today we're going to go ahead and get around to using this bad boy. So I'm really curious if I can connect this to the Futaba receiver like the RC four-wheel drive winches and make this work with my radio, or if we're going to have to use this little switch right here. The stock front bumper is a little too small for the Traxxas winch. The Traxxas winch is really wide, so we're going to go ahead and take this, upload it to the computer, and see what we can do and design our own winch mount for this front bumper. I'm very excited. So here we're uploading that 3D image to Fusion 360 so we can start designing this front bumper and get everything going to scale. Once we have our design completed, we're going to upload it to our slicer here. It'll show us our print layout and how it's going to print on the printer. We'll go ahead and upload this file to a USB drive and upload it to the printer. Here we have the stock bumper and our bumper laid out. You can see how wide this is. Installing it on the truck here slides right in perfectly to the factory mounts. Got all that stuff lined up good. I'm pretty happy with it. Just the logo did not come out very well and I need to make the front holes a little bit bigger. All in all, for the first design, it fit up perfectly. Guys, that's going to wrap up this Vanquish video. I still have a lot to do to this bumper. As you see, this will be the first prototype, just making sure everything fits, all the holes line up, and it looks good on the truck. We got to make sure that the winch is still fully functional on there, make sure all the factory screws go into place, make sure I have a spot for the wires. This is a very rough draft for the first one, but just showing you guys our detailed process of how we go into scanning the object, making the object, and designing it, printing it, and then putting the first one on the truck to make it come to life. So there's a lot to edit on this thing. There's a lot to go in to do it. We'll probably have like 6 or 7 prototypes on this thing and then a lot of testing before it's available to you guys. We're just showing you there's a cool new product coming for your Vanquish owners. It's very cool and I'm super excited about it. It looks great and it's going to help mount all the winches to your truck. You don't have to use a servo winch, and some of you guys love the servo winch, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want the little scale looks and want to add a winch, we're going to have this available for the Traxxas winch and all the RC four-wheel drive winches, and I can't wait to bring it to you guys. I got a lot of work to do behind the scenes here, guys. I'm not proud to admit this. This is the interior for the VS4-10 Phoenix. I never did it. Owned the truck about 2 years and never did my interior in it. So it's time to paint this stuff, do the interior, and get this truck right and give it what it deserves. If you like the video, leave me a like. Hit that subscribe button. There's tons of content. It brings you a lot of value and entertainment. I know you guys love. Hit that subscribe button. You're not going to regret it. I can't wait to see you in the next video and show you some stuff on the RC course we have coming up very soon. Have an awesome day, night, morning, afternoon, whenever you guys are watching this video. If it's a brisk 5 o'clock in the AM morning like it is for me, hope you guys have an awesome day. Start early, get the day going. Love you guys. I'll see you next time.